Good morning, everybody. This is Mike Schwartz. We're going to get started in about 3 or 4 minutes, so just bear with us. We were having some technical problems getting all the presenters on the phone, so you might hear us chatting a little bit, but please know we'll be starting in about 5 minutes. Hi, Michelle. Hopefully you can hear me as well as everybody else can hear me. Michelle, can you talk just so we know if everybody can hear you?
Can you hear me?
Michelle on?
We can. So Karen and Michelle, Monique, the 4 of us are on right now and we're all live, so everybody's hearing what we say. I told everybody that we're having some technical difficulties so that they should bear with us, but we'll be starting in about 5 minutes. And I'm gonna unmute Rebecca. So Rebecca, you should be able to talk now as well.
Hi, guys.
Yay.
Hi, Rebecca.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Hi, Rebecca.
Hi.
Hi.
So Rebecca and Michelle, you won't be able to share your screens, but you'll be able to see everything we're doing.
Okay.
And everybody is hearing us now. We're live. Thank you, everybody, for being patient while we work through getting the presentation started.
Michelle,
Yes,
you did I just hear that we can't share your screen?
you did, but I put links in, so it probably will be okay.
So you will go to my links and I'll talk through. I mean, you'll talk through.
I put links on the slide deck. Yeah.
Right. Okay. Okay.
So everybody out there, again, please bear with us another minute or two and then we'll start. Karen, are you ready to share your screen as soon as we're ready to start? You can share it anytime you want, I guess, actually. Or I can do it if you want.
And Mike, you just want us to unmute ourselves when it's our turn to speak, is that correct?
Yeah, please. Yeah. Actually, Michelle and Rebecca, you may not be able to unmute yourself if you mute yourself. So just leave yourself talking and try not to make noise in the background, and we'll let you know if
Okay.
you're hearing it.
Hopefully you can't hear my children running around up above me.
Those will be nice sounds. You like those sounds?
Mike, is there a way for me to share my screen or no? It's Michelle talking.
No, Michelle, I'm sorry. We learned late last night that if you're on a Chromebook, you can't share your screen. Sorry, we didn't.
But Karen, maybe if there's time and we want to show that app, maybe I could walk you through it.
Absolutely. Karen, are you there?
I am here.
Oh. Are you gonna share? Are you ready to share your screen, or do you want me to?
I will be in 1 sec.
Okay.
Hey, Mike.
Yes.
I am not having an option to share my screen.
Oh, let me see if I can make you presenter.
That would be lovely. If not, you can be presenter. Oh, there I am.
There it is.
Okay, that's awesome.
All right. Well, you ready, Karen? If I kick it off, I'll turn it over.
Absolutely, lovely. Thank you.
So I'm Mike Schwartz. Thank you all for joining us today. Thanks so much to Karen and the presenters. We appreciate your joining us. We have been putting on these webinars since last Friday. Karen Mazzo has been working from early morning to late at night getting these all organized. So thank you, Karen, for all your efforts. I want to give a big thank you to the Department of Education and Caitlin Davis, who's sponsoring these webinars. This has been really great to be able to help provide some support to the school districts virtually. It's absolutely amazing what school districts are doing. I know there was an article in the Concord Monitor yesterday, I believe, about the recognition that New Hampshire and Florida are receiving for their transition to virtual education, being leaders across the country. And it's clearly because of the stuff that all of you are doing in your classrooms and leaders are doing in their schools. We know these are challenging times for us. We look forward to continuing to offer these types of virtual webinars as we go forward. Thank you for all the great work you're doing for your students. Make sure you give yourself some time. You take small steps as you go forward. Take deep breaths and have confidence that you can make this work, and you are already making this work. We had a quick, and I'll stop this quickly so we can get down to the presentation. But yesterday, some of you joined the self-help webinar, and it's very clear that the support the teachers are giving to students, just giving them a sense of normality as much as possible by having classes, having instruction continue in the homes is so important to children's self-growth right now and mental state. So thank you all for the great work you're doing. And with that, I'll turn it to Karen and the presenters, and look forward to hearing about grade 1 and 2 virtual support.
Thanks, Mike. Hi, everybody. This is Karen Mazzo. I'm on the phone because somehow the sound on my computer wasn't working so well. I'm really happy to have Monique and Michelle and Rebecca with us today. Mike, I think I'm just going to tell everybody that you can write in, you're on mute, right? So you can write in questions in the questions panel in your control panel, okay? And if you don't have sound or you're having sound issues, you can also call in. So under audio, there is also a phone option, which is what I did. So you have to dial in a number. There's an access code there. So if you go in the control panel and you can see the phone option, that might be helpful. And Amy, you're welcome for the PD. So I'm really, really excited to have you talk with Monique and Michelle and Rebecca today. They've done a lot of work. Monique is from Rochester. She teaches at Maple Street Magnet. So will you wave to everyone, Monique? There she is. Michelle and Rebecca are signed on in a way that won't allow them to do their webcam. But there are pictures of them. Michelle works at Center School in Hampton as a curriculum and data specialist, and she will actually have her first principal position soon next year, so that'll be really great. And Rebecca is at Guilford Elementary School, and she's a 2-year-old and a 4-year-old. She loves to be outside. I so respect anyone with small children right now because it's a rough endeavor. So thank you all for coming. And Mike already thanked the NHDOE, and you are all muted if I didn't say that already. And we will take your questions at the end and during. We'll keep monitoring if you raise your hand and you want to be unmuted. Okay? So we're going to sort of go through today. Michelle's going to talk first about all the great things and some of the not so great things, right, that are happening at the center school, because this is not a showcase. This is just sharing of ideas, and all different schools are getting off to all different starts. So hopefully some of what we share today will be helpful, and we will be continuing this weekly or every other week for K through 2. So if you want to sign in again when we offer the webinar again, we'll be eager to hear how everyone is progressing. All right. Hi, Michelle.
Hi.
Hi, how are you doing?
Good.
Okay. Do you want to talk a little bit about, you just tell me when to forward the slides.
Yeah, let's stay there. So our school went live last Wednesday, and it's definitely been a challenge, as I'm sure all of you have had challenges. And really, I'd love to tell you like a template that works out for a daily schedule that works for everybody. But honestly, the teachers are all trying to figure it out still. I think they were a little overzealous to start, and they did a lot of meeting times, and now the teachers are getting really burnt out because they're not able to keep up. So we're trying to minimize the meeting times because teachers were finding like it was a waste of time. It was just kids sitting there talking, and they felt like posting videos to their Google Classroom was more efficient than constantly meeting most of the day. So we're still kind of working that out. What we're using a lot is we already had subscriptions to Raz Kids and PebbleGo and Prodigy Math and Epic, so we're using those a lot. But I'm going to show you some resources that are free that teachers are starting to use, and they're saying that they're very helpful to online teaching.
Okay.
Next one. So Amazing Educational Resources is a link, and if you click on that, Karen, it will show you. You just go to amazingeducationalresources.com, and it's a spreadsheet of all of the free.
Are you seeing? You're all seeing? Michelle, are you seeing the?
Yep.
Yes. Okay.
Yep. So
okay.
There's tons of companies that are giving free subscriptions to things. This list is a little overwhelming, but pretty much if you're looking for something, you could probably find it there. So just go to that website and you'll find free subscriptions to, it's all in alphabetical order. So
oh, wow, that's a lot.
Yeah.
That's great. Maybe sometime today, we can go through, I will go through and maybe highlight some of them from the conversation today. So that's great.
Okay. I have some too on the next slide to show you.
Say it again.
I have some others. I pointed out some specific ones on the next couple of slides.
Okay. This looks like a great one.
So this PBS just put this out yesterday, actually, and it's videos and interactive activities that are sorted by grade level and by subject. So Karen, if you can click on that, this should be a live link.
There we go. Okay.
So if you go to grades.
Can I stop you for a second? 1 second, Michelle. I'm sorry. Mike, are you seeing that folks can't see the slides? Actually, I'm not projecting my slides right now. I'm projecting a website. So let me know, folks. Yep.
You can still see the pattern recognition, cyber chase games. I can see that.
Okay, great.
I think fine. Keep going.
Okay, great.
If you click at the top, Karen, if you click grades, see where it says grades with the drop-down menu?
Yes. Pre-K? Early elementary?
Yeah, so you can click early elementary, yep.
Okay.
And then you can filter by whatever subject, you can filter by subject, discipline.
Okay.
You go to language arts.
Okay.
There's videos that you can post to your Google Classroom. There's interactive activities. So it's a really excellent website if you want to go kind of look around for things. Teachers have been found it very helpful to just post onto their classrooms.
Look at that. Wow. Okay, I'm going to look at tonight. So that was English language arts. I'm going to look at science. That's really fun. The juicy light. Explore how light responds when it interacts with different types of juice in a live action video. So that feels very age level appropriate.
They're all aligned. Everything's aligned to the standards. So you can go by specific grade.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's incredible. Do you, is there anything specifically that you found on here that you want to share?
No, I just wanted to share that because it's super easy to use, and the teachers have found that really helpful.
Okay. Yep. Okay. Thanks.
Mm-hmm.
And are people putting that link into their Google Classroom?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you for that.
Yep. And this is a school in Virginia that actually put together there's schedules for the day by grade level. If you click on that, I know teachers were looking for ideas of how to structure their day. So if you click on that, you scroll down.
Yep. Oh, look at that.
If you,
I'm going to go into grade. What do you suggest?
grade 2 is fine. It doesn't matter.
2. Okay. Oh, wow. That is so organized. And so they put it out maybe at the beginning of the week.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And they just came out with a second week.
Okay. So I'm gonna just play the morning message.
Okay.
Just for a second, just to. Oh, I don't have volume. Anyway, here is this teacher giving this morning message, which is fabulous. And then how to move around the internet video. Wow, reading. Look at this.
So they're not doing any live meetings. They're just doing this. So every day the kids go on and their whole day is structured for them.
And they send it out at the beginning of the week. Yes. Interesting.
And if you go to that same website, they just posted their second week. So that could be helpful.
This is super interesting. Say and sort activity directions. So do you remember what school district this is from?
I don't. But if you look at if you share that link, I don't know, is there a way that you can share the link with people?
Yeah, I'll share it. Well, it's in the PowerPoint, so folks can.
They'll have access to the PowerPoint.
Access it because everyone will have access.
Okay.
Oh, and look at the differentiation. So the different options for writing, right? Dotted paper with no picture box, with picture box, lined without. Oh, wow. This is so great.
Yeah, they've done a really
20. This looks terrific. It's time for read aloud. I'm just trying to give everybody a sense of it. Physical education. So basically all of their day, what I'm seeing here is that the teachers worked in an interdisciplinary way and created this together.
That's correct.
Correct? Okay. And folks, you will have access to the PowerPoint itself. We will be sending you a file with a link to it. So we have our music lesson, our art lesson, PE. Oh, Michelle, I love this. Thank you.
Great.
Okay, and so they have a 5-day
Karen,
plan,
do you
and
want
there's
to
a new
take
one.
a break and maybe answer some of the questions?
Sure.
There's
Okay,
several
so
questions just about what the site is.
The site that that it's made with is some more. So you can see at the top, it's smore.com. And we had another teacher yesterday who was using this to organize her daily and weekly plans. So, okay, so I'm just seeing here, if you're using Seesaw, right? So the site from PBS can be added to Seesaw if you're using Seesaw Learning Platform. For the PBS, is it just nhpbs.com? That was one of the questions, Michelle. The site is.
Hold on.
Hold on. Here.
It's
NHPBS.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah, and it's pbslearningmedia.org.
Okay.
And then
PBS.
if you Google PBS Learning emergency closing, it'll come up.
Okay. PBS. Okay. Mike, maybe you can type that for everybody.
And I forgot to say something too about the PBS, the videos, there's a link to Google Classroom right on there. So you can just put it right into your Google Classroom while you're on there.
Ah, okay. Thank you for sharing that. I have a question here that is, I have tried to sign my daughter up for Raz Kids and Reading A to Z, but I have to pay. The apps are free. Reading A to Z and Raz Kids, you can sign up for free. We had a webinar earlier in the week where the Raz Kids folks came on, and I can send you that information after the webinar. Or Mike, if you have a second, you can type that in. But that is, yeah, thank you. Okay.
I'm also going to show an app that's comparable to Raz Kids. So coming up, that's free.
Okay. Thanks, Michelle. Mm-hmm. So that was PBS, and here we are at SMORE, and this beautiful. I mean, I feel like for me, this site is the tidiest, easiest access that you could get, because it's interdisciplinary, and everyone's put everything in the same space, organized for the week. It seems sort of dreamy. That seems something to strive for. Really hard to achieve right now. Yeah. So that seems really incredible. I wish that my high school kids were getting that. Okay. Thanks, Michelle.
Yep.
Oh, this is a good one.
Oh yeah, this is an excellent resource from Hegarty, who you guys probably all know for phonemic awareness. If you click on the Hegarty picture, Karen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I played her at the beginning of the week for parents. Oh, we can't hear it because she just
explains how to do the phonemic awareness and use hand movements and things. And it's great. You can give that to parents if you want, so they can do some things at home. And then Karen, if you click on the other box, Hegarty has given, I think, a month's worth of free lessons for phonemic awareness, and they're pretty simple and easy to follow. So you just have to download where it says, in the blue at the top.
Yep.
Scroll up.
Yep. I've already downloaded.
The lessons are free.
It's great. Yep, and I've already downloaded some of them. And notice also they're in Spanish as well. Yeah. So that's really good information. Okay. That webinar, not the webinar, but the Hegarty lady talking, I've listened to that and sent that already to folks. So I'm sorry that I can't play it for you. So that is fabulous. Okay. Oh, Mike?
This would be okay if you just skipped. This is just one of our second grade teachers, and I just put it in there because she's adorable for one, but also they've found that posting videos is easier. So they're just taking quick videos and posting them on their website, and they're using Screencastify to do their videos because they found it to be much easier. And the next slide is the Screencastify slide.
Okay.
So I don't know if you guys have been using Screencastify. This is from Google, and you can just download it. It's free to do 5-minute videos, but if you contact them, they'll give you unlimited for free. Right? There's no sound.
If you recall, it's still going to record anything that it can see here on my screen. All right, I'll go ahead and click share.
3, 2, 1.
I get a countdown and then it begins. Hi students, I'd like to show you how to use this wonderful website called Flipgrid. Now, as I record this, Screencastify is recording everything I do with the mouse, everything that I do with scrolling. It also records clicks. As you can see, there's a circle that appears around the mouse when I click. Also, I want you to see that you can resize the webcam recording if you want to, just by clicking and dragging the corner. You can also close out of it if you're done with it. And I am done with it. Now, while you're recording your screencasts or videos, you'll notice here in the lower left corner that you do have some tools. You can pause the recording and then resume when you're ready to resume. We also have some options for the mouse pointer. You can see that there's a little halo effect if you want to turn that on, and there are other options as well. You also have a whiteboard marker, basically. So as I just did, you can click and drag to draw on the screen, to circle things or draw arrows to things, and that's all recorded. We do have an eraser as well if you want to erase that stuff. And you can toggle the webcam on by clicking this button and turn it off by pressing it again. We also have a timer if you want to time yourself as you record, and then the X actually hides those options. All right, let's say I'm done with my tutorial on Flipgrid. I can just go down here and click Stop Sharing. I get a countdown and then it begins. And you saw what happened. It took me to the Screencastify website and my video recording starts immediately. I can click and drag to advance through the recording if I would like, and I can play from there. Mouse pointer. You can see that there's a little halo effect up.
Okay,
Thanks, Mike.
thanks. So if you guys I highly recommend Screencastify. Teachers have been saying it's saving like so much time. So you could just go onto YouTube and find that video. It'll probably be easier for you to see how to use it. And this other thing, I was going to show you how it worked, but I don't think we're going to have enough time. And also, I can't share my screen. But there's an app that's called AWW app. Just Google that, and it'll come up. And it's an interactive whiteboard that you can share. You can, like, I could share it with, say, Karen right now, and we could write on the whiteboard back and forth to each other. We did it the other day.
Hey, Mike, can you put the PowerPoint back up?
Is it not up?
I'm not seeing it.
I can see it.
Oh, okay.
Mike, I think if you click on it, it'll take you to there's a link on the picture.
Yep, I'm seeing it too. I had to re-click my icon for GoToWebinar.
So, Mike, can you just, yeah, and you can share it with somebody. See the share person at the top? Can you see it, Mike? Yeah. If you share that with me, then I can be writing at the same time. I won't be able to do it right now, but I did it, actually just did it with some kids this morning. They loved it.
So this would be a great way to do math together, right? Write responses, interact with kids around math problems, correct?
Yeah, and teachers have been using it to do like sentence dictation, to have them spelling words and things.
Have kids been taking pictures of the screens and sending them? Is that another way to do this, to take a screenshot?
Yeah, but they don't even have to. I can see everything that they're doing because we share the whiteboard.
Got it. And they can also, it looks like they can also export it if they want to.
They can, yep. It's a really good resource, AWW app. And here's the other one that I wanted to tell you about, and I can't, if I could share the screen, I could show you, but Rivet is free through Google. It's an app and it's an excellent resource. It's very similar to Raz Kids. You can assign levels, like text levels, to each student, so they're only reading appropriately leveled text. And the cool feature on this is when the students read the text, if they stop at the end of the page and every word that they read correctly is underlined, and if a word is not read correctly, they can click on it and it will tell them how to say the word. I don't know, Mike, you probably can't get to it, but try clicking it. Oh yeah. I don't know if it'll come up with my account. That's the problem. Right, so there you can collect the level. You can assign each level to your students.
Select a level.
Try that one, Mike. Click level, that's fine. And then try to click on a book if you can.
That's great.
Actually, I don't know if that, Mike, can you go back for a second?
Back further, I'm sorry.
Go back to the book selection again. So if you, are there any on there, Mike, that has like a little microphone in the bottom left-hand corner?
I don't see any, I'm sorry.
That's okay. You'll have to play around with it. But it's an excellent resource. Teachers are loving this one. A lot of people don't know about it, but it's a really great one.
Michelle, if you find one with the microphone, then what does that
Maybe
do?
try to go to level where it says level 2. See if you can change the level.
Oh, sorry.
It's okay.
What level do you want?
Just any higher level. Try level 4 or 5. Yeah, anyone's fine. 4 is fine.
Michelle, it might be because I don't have the full app downloaded.
That's what I'm wondering. Yeah,
That's okay. People can
that is fine.
use all
Yeah,
the
if you play around with it, you'll see what I'm talking about. It's really cool. And the other resource, I don't know if you guys know, but PebbleGo is a nonfiction digital library that is giving free access right now. You just have to, the code is engaged learning. The sign, oh yeah. Actually engaged and then learning is the password, sorry.
Sorry.
And then you can just click on whatever you want, like say animals or whatever one you want. And it's all nonfiction texts.
Fish, insects, and spiders.
Oh, wow.
Flies are insects with 2 wings and 6 legs.
You can choose whether to have it read to you or have them read it. But this is a really good resource. Teachers were having trouble, like we were so scrambling to get our learning bags together that we didn't have enough books, nor do we have enough books in our school for everybody to have enough to last for a long time. So these are really good resources to put digital text in students' hands.
Michelle, can I ask just a couple questions and then we'll move on to you, Monique? We're definitely running short on time. These are quick questions, and the rest we might have to answer virtually. There is a read aloud function in Rivet. Is that correct?
Yes, there is.
Okay, so that was a quick answer. The links to all the websites will be sent to you. Are the PebbleGo books leveled?
They aren't.
They are not?
No, but you can kind of tell about what level that you would be able to assign certain books to students.
Okay. Okay. Can you record a lesson for the whiteboard app? Can you record a lesson on there and then send it to students? Do you know? Or you work through it? Okay.
Let me look.
We'll have to.
I'm not sure, but I'll look it up right now.
Well,
certainly
it's okay. We can get that.
Of the whiteboard and the screencasting together.
Yeah, that would definitely work.
Well, I use the whiteboard.
Definitely.
Okay. And then one other thing is just that people have written in, there's the list, the state approved list, which I actually haven't looked at yet. But that some of these things are not necessarily state approved. But I also wonder if we send them to the people that are creating that list, that they can test it and decide. In other words, I think it's worth researching. And Mike and we will all look into it further to see about, the criteria for those approvals.
I know
okay,
I know that PebbleGo is approved because we are using that at our school right now.
Oh, okay. So the things that you're showing us are all approved because you are actively using them.
Not exactly. We're using them, but PebbleGo was approved, and Rivet, I think, is approved because it's through Google, and Google's approved.
And the other thing to point out is a lot of these, that sounds like, are free tools that don't necessarily, you don't have to put all your students' information in it. They're things that people just use at home.
Right.
Okay. Oh, there's so many great questions. Just so you guys know, if your question does not get answered during the webinar, Michelle, Monique, and Rebecca will work, and with Mike and I will work on answering the questions, and you'll get a link to the answers after the webinar. Okay, and then you can also email us as well, and we can talk. So let's talk. Michelle, thank you so much.
Thank you
for all of that valuable information. Monique, hi.
Hello, how are you?
I'm good. We're all good. So do you want to share how you've been managing at Rochester Magnet School?
Sure. So Mike has agreed to share the screen with me in just a second. So I'm using a Google site, although I really like what was presented before in organizing activities. So I'm going to show my screen. It doesn't look like it's showing.
Nick,
you guys see my screen yet?
Yep, we do.
Okay, you can see all right, perfect. So I've been using this Google site for all year long. And recently I've been putting up all of my messages for folks to have access to. This is the site you're seeing right now is my end of what it will look like as I build the site, and then I'll show you guys what the kids see. So here are just my notes of what's happening during the day. There's a lot of videos on this site for folks to be able to navigate things like how to get into Spelling City, how to log your kid into Google and Chrome and Clever. And then in my ELA department, I am listing, and this is what I do every single day so my kids know how to navigate this site again. So there's my remote learning plan for today. I have hyperlinked all of my plans into this section. So if I scroll down just so you could see like in real life what it looks like, I'm going to put in the story of the week, and then these are some songs, which I'll show you also in a second. So if I click on the remote learning plan for today, it hyperlinks it automatically to a Google Doc. From here, families were looking for a little bit stronger of a schedule. So I tried to break it down for what they're going to do. I too have created YouTube links. It's just me recording my voice. Good morning, Maple Street Magnet School second graders. And then so typically I go through a PowerPoint presentation every morning. So I just recorded myself doing the PowerPoint presentation. At the end of any of these activities, they click on the X and that will get them back to the remote page. Also, we have a DJ every day in my classroom, and so this link will get them right back to the Google site if they get stuck. This is what they see on their end. And they can click on songs for math or songs for learning. And I uploaded every YouTube song that I have ever downloaded in my entire life. And that's down in this section right here. And Karen had asked me to play something for you guys, so I'll quickly go over to this. Again, it connects directly to YouTube. If you don't know that song, it is awesome. My kids love that one. So then I'm going to go back to the remote learning plan, and it will break them down into, again, every single thing that they need to do today. And I also, like I said, gave them some time frames to help. There's something about Mo Willem in there. So Karen had asked me to help you guys create a Google if you are interested. So I'm going to sign into my Google Apps. And you should have a slide section. Not slide, I'm sorry. Okay, hold on, I'm just kidding. I'm going to go to Google Drive. And then I'm going to press New. Oh, sorry. A little bit of a lag there. I'm going to click on More. And then it's going to say Google Sites. and it's automatically going to bring you to a screen that you can start to build your own sites with. This is directly related to your Google Drive, and so when you're ready to publish, you just click up here and share. There'll also be a publish button. You just click and drag over what you would like. If you click on these plus buttons, it's going to allow you to go right into YouTube. So that's how I find my videos. And if you want to just put something in there, so that would be the video I just shared, and I'm going to make this up. So I would just click on this link. It's going to just pop up, and I Control V and then tell it to apply. And then when you decide to publish it, so I'm going to click it on, this is mine already. And it says it's untitled at this time, but I can go back. If you make any changes, it'll come up on this page and you just click to let folks know that you've made a change. Another thing we do at Maple Street Magnet School is we use Class Dojo. So I do a lot of repeat and repeat on this. I will post again like what we're doing for the day. It also has a section for parents to send me a direct message. And unfortunately, the kids' full names are on there, so I'm not going to click on that. And then lastly, we use Seesaw, and this is by far my favorite way of keeping student portfolios. I can put a message up to the kiddos, and that sends it to every single person. I can also create activities. Seesaw has already created a lot of activities in a community. And so if you wanted to add a new resource, you would hit the plus button, and I would assign an activity. In the community, I could just type in money or whatever subject I want. I've already set it to 2nd grade. And I could then just click on this. Super easy. I tell it to assign it to my class. Done. That's it. If you wanted to create your own assignment, a little bit more work, but I could put a tutorial up on the link for today's webinar. So I'm going to end my screen share. Am I off? Or do you still see my screen?
I think I'm still seeing your screen.
Okay.
Now I think I'm seeing Mike's screen.
Right, you good?
Mike? Should we go back to the webinar?
Yeah, I'm sorry, Karen. I was switching over to the webinar. You should now see my screen.
Great. Awesome. Okay.
Perfect. Thank you.
Monique, thank you so much. That was super helpful. We got a lot of comments.
You're very welcome.
Thanking you. Yeah. This is awesome. And we will share the Google site with students. Oh, this is a question for you. Do you share the link to the Google site with students via email?
I am sharing the link in every single email. Yep, can you hear me?
Yeah. Can you repeat that?
Okay, then? So sure, in every email, I already have, like in the signature line, the site, and then every time I post on either Dojo or Seesaw, I include that link again, and it's just a bit.ly so that it's a short link for parents to get access to.
Okay, thanks.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Super helpful. Hi, Rebecca.
Good morning.
Share some of what you're doing? Good morning.
Yeah. I'm just going to wait for that first screen to pop up for me, and then I can go through. All right. So we haven't really added on many new features for our students. So we use Clever, which is an online portal that allows our learners a single login for all of the programs that they use. So that has streamlined our online process for the kids because that's not new. So they log in through Clever. You can go to the next screen. All right, and then Google Classroom is our primary platform. So this is a new feature for them. But in Google Classroom, we as the first grade team created an assignment for literacy, writing, and math. And so for each day, it posts at 6 a.m. Each morning. So they're only seeing that day's assignments and anything from the previous day. So nothing moving forward, nothing for the future. They click on literacy and everything that's been assigned for literacy is right there for them. They click on math, everything that's been assigned for math, they click right there. And then any video links or links to Google Docs, anything that they would need is right there, unless it is a link from within Clever, like the math sites that we use or the Spelling City. They go back to their Clever login and they know how to get to it from there. We also are using Google Meet or Google Hangout. I'm not quite sure which one they use. So we use Google Meet, and then anytime we meet with children, we post that link directly in the Google Classroom. So you are actually able to go into Google Classroom and choose certain kids that you can assign something to. So if I'm doing a reading group with only 3 kids, I can send that link just to those 3 and it will show up in their Google Classroom. When I meet at a different time with another group of kids, I send those 4 kids that certain link. They can then click that button and meet me for the Google Meet. You can go ahead and go to the next slide. So here's Google Meet. This is a horrible me taking a picture of myself trying to do this Google Meet. We did math yesterday and it was so fun. I mean, it's so nice to like hear their little voices. But I had a whiteboard and I was practicing problems with them and just asking them to help me kind of like fill in the blanks on the whiteboard so they could see what I was doing. But it also has the option where you can share your screen just like presenters before me have been doing. So you can pull up a Google slideshow, or you can pull up a book on Epic and they can read the book to you while you're looking at the book. There's so many options for what you can allow them to see. I've been recording read alouds, recording lessons, recording morning meetings, and you're just uploading the links to it. And if you're using Google Meet, one of the greatest features that I have found is that when you record yourself or you record a meeting or a lesson, it automatically drops it into your Google Drive. So for ease of uploading and downloading and moving things to where you need them, it's put into the Google Drive for you, which I think just makes it so simple. We've also been using Google Meet to do all of our team meetings, meetings with special ed. This is how our special ed team has been working with our kids. Title I is working with our kids this way. So it's been really useful for all of us. You can go to the next slide. So we use Eureka Math in the Guilford School District, and we also have had Zern as a resource. So this is another link for them within Clever. Zern has been a game changer for us. We are only on day 3 of remote learning, but math was the easiest piece for us to implement because Zern follows Eureka. So we went into first grade, chose module 4, and started them in topic C or D, I think. And this allows them to do every lesson that Eureka Math has planned out for them. there are a couple lessons in Zern that they skip over, and I've used those as opportunities like yesterday to do an online lesson with them. So whether I pre-record it and send it out to them or I did it live, like yesterday, it's just an opportunity to kind of do math in a different way. So this is our primary math instruction, and it's really cool because it actually gives them a lesson, like a video lesson with an actual person speaking, and then it gives them games. And in order to move on to the next lesson, they have to master all of the games to unlock the lesson. Okay, you can go to the next screen.
Rebecca, can I ask you a quick question about Zern?
Yeah.
There's a question about whether it has an everyday math connection. I don't think it does, but do you know differently?
I do not think it does, but I am not the expert, so I can't say for sure, but I don't think so.
Okay, thanks.
Yep.
I'm pretty sure it.
What's that?
It is not everyday.
It does not.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is Epic Books. I know that this was touched on earlier. So this has been really great for us. We've used it in the classrooms. The kids really have enjoyed it throughout the school year. And now that they're at home, it's been really incredible to use. So each of our learners has their own Epic account, and you can actually assign books in here. And they're based on level. So we use Fountas and Pinnell. So I can go in under Fountas and Pinnell. I can choose level specific to kids. I have been able to create groups. So if I have 3 kids that are all reading at a level I send them the same book, assign them the same book. They can read the book, and then I can do a Google Meet with them to chat about the book. I've had them draw pictures and then show me the picture of the character. So it's been fun to see them having conversations about the book. So they're getting connections to each other, the kids, as they're making connections to the book. So that's been fun. There's also an option in Epic Books where you can choose the read to me books. So they can be books at any level because they're read to the kids, which they've really enjoyed. And then there are also some books that have quizzes at the end, which I kind of like to just throw in there because it just gives you a little marker of where they're at and what they're doing, and kind of another accountability piece, which we don't really have right now. So that's Epic. Is there another slide? And that's it.
Quick question, Rebecca. Do you have to upload student information into Epic?
So Epic was done by our tech team. So that's something that went through Clever and is above my head. I can tell you that when we were using Epic as a school, there was no home connection. So we used their Google email that every learner in our district has, and there was no information uploaded per se other than their name and their school email. Epic Books has opened up home access until June 30th. So we were able to go in to each of our learners' accounts, input their parent email address, and the parents on their end were able to open up the home access. Prior to that, parents had to pay for use at home.
Got it. Okay. Thank you for that.
Yeah, you're welcome.
I have another couple questions for you. Can you post lesson videos from Zern in Google Classroom?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Because they're not,
Okay.
It's not like you can go in and pull things out of it. It's just part of the lesson. And it's you have to go through each step to get to the next step. And I don't think you can download any of their videos.
Understood. Thank you.
Yep.
And I just have a little information from Emily. She says you can import your Google Classroom roster for Epic, or you can manually enter names. So that was a piece of information to share. Whoop, we're getting some more questions. Let's see. How do you see if your students are looking at these websites? Do you post questions or ask them to comment?
Is that a question for me?
It is for you, so, or for anybody. Okay. So how do you get that accountability, or how do you see if they're logging in? Let's say Zern, you know.
So for Zern, there are 4 monitoring modalities, I guess, that they offer. So different ways that you can look at their pacing. So you can see how many minutes they're spending a day. You can see what lessons they've completed. You can see where they're struggling. So Zern actually has really nailed it in terms of monitoring each of your individual learners. Epic is the same way. You can log in and see what kids are reading. It's actually kind of amazing the amount of monitoring you can do within each of the sites. That's one thing I have not had a problem with.
That's great.
Can I jump in?
Say again?
This is Monique. So in Seesaw, every time a kid completes an assignment, it will have me have to approve it, and then shows up in their journal so I can keep track. I can also track competency codes so that I'm able to then look back and say, how is this child progressing with this competency? Or
very good.
Standard if you guys don't use competencies.
Thanks, Monique.
You're welcome.
I have a quick question for all of you. Do you have any kids that don't have internet access that you have to modify for? And what are you doing with them if that's the case?
We have that problem. This is Michelle. We've had that problem, but we have Khajiit. We have a bunch of Khajiits in our district that allows for that internet access. And so when our bus drivers drive around to drop off their school lunches every day, anybody that needs a Khajiit will drop that off at that time.
Michelle, what is that?
It's some sort of, I know Mike probably could answer that better than me, but it's some sort of, I don't know what it does, but it's like magic and it gives you Wi-Fi access.
Okay.
Suffice it to say, Karen, it's a piece of hardware that people can use as a hotspot in their house if they don't have access.
Oh, okay. Thank you. That was helpful. Okay.
We should mention too, a couple of people have written in that Epic has not passed the state security requirements, and so they haven't been willing to sign the state privacy agreement. So check with your district if you're using Epic. Some districts, it sounds like, are using it during this time period, or maybe, I know that there's also 2 levels of, there's the state minimum requirements for privacy, and then there's another privacy document that schools were using that was a little bit more rigorous. And so it's possible, if you look at the state minimums, that some of these providers may pass the state minimum requirements for privacy, but just wanted to give everyone a heads up about that.
Thank you. 2 more questions. Michelle, that word that you said with the hardware,
Khajiit.
How do you spell that word? Yeah, how do you spell it?
K-A-J-E-E-T.
Thanks, Khajiit, K-A-J-E-E-T. And so, and the other thing, just one, do you have any students that don't have computers at home that you've had to give out computers, or how has the school managed that?
We had a day where, when people came to pick up their remote learning bags, we offered, we have 1-to-1 in our district from 3 to 8, but we don't have it for K through 2. So we asked people if they needed one, and we gave them one. And once a week, the principal's at our school, and he sent an email out saying if anybody needs a Chromebook to stop in at school. But everybody has been, I mean, we have 450 students K-2, and every single one of them has logged on to Google Classroom. So
that's excellent. Rebecca, Monique, have you guys had to make any modifications for kids?
So this is
In
Monique.
we're one-to-one with devices, so we were able to, when we put together any resources they would need at home and families came to pick them up, we were able to just send them home with their Chromebook and with their headphones from school.
That's excellent.
And the same here in Rochester. About half of my students came to pick up their Chromebooks. And we, again, are a school that has one-to-one devices. And at this point, not one student has come and said they don't have access to the internet. But we have, we know that there's some local places around here, like Atlantic Broadband is offering free internet service for the people in Rochester.
Oh, wow. Well, we can write that back.
Karen,
did you guys get, yeah.
I also know in Manchester, I believe, and I'm going to give the wrong company the plug, but I believe it was Verizon. One of the vendors gave hotspots to Manchester to give out to some of their parents as well. So if you're looking for finding internet access for your students, I would recommend maybe try to email the district leads in Manchester, and they might have some advice as well.
Thank you. Xfinity in Manchester. I just got a little input there. So that's there. Yeah. Okay. So I'm just keeping an eye on the questions to make sure that we get to those that we can get to and that we can answer. Someone else also put in that maybe Comcast as well. Did all of your districts send you the list of approved sites?
Yes, this is Michelle. Hampton we have a list of the approved sites.
Okay, so you got that from your district office?
Yes.
This is Monique, and we have not received an approved list, but we also have Clever, so there are apps within inside Clever, and Epic is one of those approved for us.
Interesting.
Yeah, Guilford is the same way. We did not receive an approved list, but within Clever, there's understanding in our district that we should not be using new sites where we have to input our kids' names. So that all has to go through our tech department before we do that. So we just kind of don't add anything new in.
Okay. I just have some information here that Manchester has a list of approved sites from the IT department. So I think that you need to access that information from your district, just like Mike was saying. Okay. Well, okay. Wow. And does anyone have any last minute additions? We're going to look at the attendees now, and feel free, folks, to raise your hands if you wanted to add anything. Barbara Nugent, I think. You had said that you wanted to ask a question. I see your hand raised. I have unmuted you. Or Carol Keefe, would you like to ask a question or make a comment?
Yes, I'm just wondering when these instructors had time to research and set this all up. Did they just begin this last week, or was time allotted within their schedule to add on to what they had been doing already? Like when Monique said the parents were looking for a stronger schedule. Monique, when did you work on redoing your schedule for the students?
So typically I have not been providing a schedule on Google Sites because they're with me all the time. So that was just something that I created. My special ed students, their parents are requesting that I give them a more personalized learning plan, which is going to take a lot of time. I would say that since Tuesday of last week, I'm pulling 10 to 14 hour days trying to get all this together. And I already had Google Sites up and running, Seesaw and Dojo, just learning some different technology things to be able to get them all to speak to each other has been the hardest part. And a lot of assisting parents in how to navigate through any of these sites. I have probably made 15 tutorials on things as simple as this is how you log into Google.
Right, so that's added a lot of time to your day then.
Correct.
I can speak to that. This is Michelle. I think it's been overwhelming to teachers, and that's so. I had 2 teachers call me last night crying because they're so overwhelmed. It's really difficult to keep up, and so I think we're actually going to have a school staff meeting today to try to come up with a plan because the teachers are really burnt out. And part of it was we're using Google Meets and they're just meeting too much, and we're going to try to come up with a way where like the grade levels work together to just come up and everybody's doing the same thing every day. So that everybody's contributing to the same lesson instead of every teacher doing their own thing.
Good idea in my mind, because that's, I'm feeling, like trying to get all the different pieces and the learning curve for us, in addition to providing for the children. It's a lot.
I can say that in Guilford for the first grade team, we did not have students last week, so we had 5 days to kind of plan out what was going to happen. We created a Google spreadsheet, and within that spreadsheet created tabs for each different school week, and on each tab had reading, writing, and math, and then we would type in to the shared doc what we were doing on Monday for reading, what we were doing on Tuesday for reading, Monday math, etc. And then that way each first grade teacher could then copy what was in the cell for reading and then go into their Google Classroom and paste it. So we all had the same assignments, and instead of each of us writing the same words, we were just copying and pasting. And we're burnt out too. Like, we're tired. I have a 2-year-old and a 4-year-old banging on the floor up above me. I mean, like, it's insanity at my house right now. So we kind of the idea of keeping it simple, and we have no idea how long this is going to last. So we feel like let's ease into it, and as we go along, up the ante, provide families with more engagement. But for right now, see their faces every once in a while, hear their voices over the phone, but just keeping it simple. You're in week 1, maybe week 2. And for right now, I think anything that we're providing for them is pretty good, and we need to pat ourselves on the back for that.
Thanks, Rebecca. Those were beautiful words. So I have unmuted everyone who has their hand raised now. So let me just go through and see if anybody else that had their hand raised wants to ask some questions or make some comments. That would be great.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes. And
okay. Sorry, I have my 2 kids in the background. I have a 7-year-old and a 4-year-old, and trying to manage that too. But I do have a question. I'm a math interventionist and at Jewett School, and I like the whiteboard idea because we can teach them math going forward and not just give them packets that they already know how to do things. I just have can you download that on your computer? I mean, I saw that you did. I just went on it real quick, and I didn't see how I can do it. Can you just talk briefly about how to get that on my computer?
So it's an app, so you can download the app.
Oh,
did you try to do that?
No. So, I mean, if I go to the website, would I be able to download the app that way?
Yeah, or you could just you don't even really have to download it. You could just use it online and share it.
So, okay, so if I just go to www.app, is that, if I Google that, can I get it?
Yep.
Okay. Okay. All right. So I'll just do that to www.app and then see if I can use that today.
No, but I can hear you. Yeah.
It'll be weird at first. The first time I used it with a student, it was kind of tricky, but we figured it out. So just give
Okay.
yourself.
No, that's perfect. That's a really cool way to interact with kids. So I appreciate that.
And just if it helps, if you're looking at the screen now, hopefully you can see it.
Yeah.
Go to awwapp.com. Michelle was describing before, if you click the plus next to the person, you're basically inviting somebody else to join the board with you, and it's a live thing. Live that other person.
And I can just add as many students as I need because we have 21 students. So is that okay?
You would just have to copy the link and maybe put that link on your Google Classroom or however whatever platform you're using.
Okay, perfect. All right, sounds good. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Is that Jessica? So I can mute you back up again? Hello?
She's done. Okay.
Does anyone else? I think there's a Carol that might have had a question, or Jessica. Okay.
Karen, can I ask a question of yourself or the presenters? I'm just curious with the comment the other panelists made, with a comment that we heard a minute ago about how difficult this is for some teachers. You know, obviously some teachers are more technical savvy than others. Are any schools doing anything with their combining classes?
How to present or share your screen.
Oh, sorry.
I couldn't hear that, Mike.
I'm trying to mute everyone.
For me, you can see the timing here and was mark 50 is in there as well. So
So the question was, are any of the presenters in your schools, are you combining classes? So if you've got two second grade teachers and one who's tech savvy, one who's not, maybe putting them together and then having all those students, instead of 20 students in class, 40 students participating in a Zoom meeting together or whatever the assignments are, so that they're not having to create two people and having to learn all the different technologies.
So, and this is Michelle in Hampton. We have 7 classes per grade level. So that's we could never possibly combine all of them. But there are they've been combining 2 teachers and they found that it was too many kids. It was too overwhelming, but I think that you're right that the best thing to do, I think that's what when I said we have our staff meeting today, is I think the best thing to do is to collaborate, kind of like what Rebecca was saying makes so much more sense, instead of everybody doing the same thing. Like one person could do the reading lesson for the week, somebody could do the math lesson for the week, and then they could just share the resources and the links.
This is Monique from Rochester. I teach in a small school. We only have 1 of every grade, but we do have a lot of second grades across our district. We have 8 elementary schools here. We are doing a shared drive, so we could borrow some things from each other, but our plans are completely different. Our expectations from building to building seem to be really different. So at this point, we are not collaborating other than it through Google Shared Drive.
Thanks, Monique.
You're welcome.
Vicki Bridge wrote in and said that Plainfield is team teaching the grade levels, so that's a way that they're working around.
Yeah, and we're just baby stepping. I mean, I guess I'm the tech savvy one of my team, and everyone is just stepping up to the plate and trying and doing. And a teammate of mine the other day said that she sent a video with all kinds of mistakes, and the feedback she got from the kids and from their families was how much they loved seeing her. And those mistakes are what our kids live with us every day when we're in our classrooms. They don't see us primed and polished and ready to go all the time. So I think we just have to remember, they're just as happy to see you in your pajamas with your hair up drinking coffee than they are if you're wearing a dress and shirt. They just want to see you, and it's not going to be perfect, but I think we're all going to learn new things.
I think that's a great,
Rebecca.
I think that's
Yeah.
a really good point, Rebecca, and that's kind of what we've been talking about. I think teachers are working so hard to get the academics out, but really the academics probably really aren't the most important thing right now. Kids just need to feel safe right now.
Agreed.
Thank you. Well said. Thank you very much. Okay, I think we are going to end the webinar. If nobody has any more questions, those of you that have questions that were not answered, and also the questions that were answered will be posted. Everyone will be getting a certificate and a link to the recorded webinar, a link to a file where all of the PowerPoint itself will be, so you can get to all the links that we visited today. And there will also be the questions and answers from the webinar. So thank you all for coming. Rebecca, Michelle, and Monique, I cannot thank you enough for sharing with all of the additional work that you have on your plates. Taking the time to do this is really remarkable. So I thank you very, very, very much. And yeah, tons of people have written in and are super grateful for all of the resources that you've shared. So thank you again. And thanks to the rest of you and everyone for being patient. We went a little over, and enjoy your days. We do have some, just before I leave, we have this afternoon another webinar for grades 5 and 6 like this one. And then tomorrow we have a virtual assessments webinar during the day. And you can get to all of our webinars and register for them on our website. You can see in the picture on the right-hand side, you just Google demonstrated success. And there goes Mike Live. This is our webinars and workshops page. And we have a whole page of virtual teaching in New Hampshire. And you can log in right there. So we have virtual assessments, and then we have kindergarten tomorrow. So, which I think that the kindergarten focused webinar will be very similar to the one that we've had today. So if you've been here for this one, then you're pretty good to go. All right. So thank you all so much, and have a wonderful day going forward. And I think we will certainly be repeating this webinar at the end of next week or the beginning of the following week with new information. And if anyone is interested in sharing what they're doing, certainly give me an email, and I will be happy to work with you, and we can create a presentation together. And there's everyone's contact information, so you can get in touch with Rebecca and Michelle and Monique, and get in touch with Mike and I if you'd like to share some of what you're doing. Okay, so maybe we'll see you next week when we do this again. Thank you very much. Thank you. Okay, take care, everybody.